podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Achtung Millwall. Broadcasting from beautiful South Bermondsey, it's the #1 Millwall podcast. Accept no substitute.
Hello dear listeners, welcome to Achtung Millwall this Sunday morning. My name is Nick Hart, you're listening to the #1 Millwall podcast, and we're all in celebratory mood, aren't we, dear listeners, after that incredible, really, 3-1 win at Hull City yesterday afternoon. I say incredible because it was very much a game of not even two halves, but probably like 3 quarters and 1 quarter in truth. We were very much up against it at the MKM Stadium, as they call it. Your Lions yesterday, just run through the team just to get us started on today's show. Alex Neil named a slightly changed 11. Patterson in goal. Danny McNamara coming into the side for Ryan Leonard, who I understand picked up a knock at Preston. A matter of days, I am informed by my spies, my Stasi network out there. But Danny Mac came in yesterday, did okay for me yesterday. Krupa and Kramer in the centre, Zach Sturge on the left side of the defence yesterday. Mitchell and Negley started yesterday, and the reason that Negley was deeper really was an injury to Casper de Noor during the warm-up. No news on how bad an injury that is for Casper that I can discern anywhere. Negley coming into a more midfield role yesterday. Aziz Langstaff and Tommy Watson, the attacking 3. Up front, a contender for my man of the match, Josh Coburn. Others will say Camille Negley, and I won't fight anyone that choose between those two. I'd also throw in Billy Mitch into the mix there as well, dear listeners, but take your pick, really. But we were up against it yesterday, listeners, from the off. Obviously, the injuries didn't help, the state of the pitch didn't help, and in truth, the poor defending didn't help us. There was a litany of chances for Hull City in the opening phase, even hitting the crossbar, going as far as to hit the crossbar with a free header on 10 minutes before, against the run of play, from a free kick, a cross in from the right side to Tristan Kramer, who nodded it back for Jake Cooper to deftly volley home in off the crossbar for 1-0, really up, against the run of play. But do we give a hoot? No, we don't. Unfortunately, that lead only lasted a few minutes, and it was a bit of lax defending for me. Loose balls, allowing the 21 to get through and shoot home. 5 minutes later on 17 minutes. I must admit I rather feared the worst, dear listeners, because the shots continued. Blocked shots on 27 minutes, a shot wide a few minutes earlier than that, a move down the left on 28, and then a disallowed goal on 29 minutes. Patterson being obstructed after a bit of ping-pong around the box. And I've written down at 29 minutes, 30 minutes, MFC under pressure. State the bleeding obvious, Nick. Why don't you? We were very much against it. Another run and shot a few minutes later. Crossbar again. Hit the crossbar. Free header again. Kramer being balked on that move. That was from a free kick on the right side for Hull. And then a volley over and 42 and a chance late in what had been a half of dominance for the Tigers, saved by Patterson. So somehow we got into the half-time dressing room at 1 each. Changes had to come, as The Who once sang, and they did come. Tommy Watson coming out at half-time in for Luke Cundle coming in rather. Doughty coming in for Zach Sturge. But the tale of near misses continued after the break. A flick header going wide on 50, a ball across the face of our goal on 54 before Alfie Doughty drawing an injury, and it looked like a bad one. All I've got on that so far, listeners, is it looks like a bad one from my spies. We don't know yet the full extent of that injury, but we're very much under the cosh as the man, the professional northern miserablist on TV had us Mill under the cosh at that point. Alex Neil, though, is nothing if not a gambler. The Kenny Rogers song, The Gambler. He rolled the dice. He played his ace card, bringing in Ivanovic, not the obvious substitute for Alfie Doughty on 58 minutes, but my word, didn't it work out when on 69, the enigmatic, the talismanic the genius that is Femi Aziz. He didn't have the greatest of games. No one did, in truth, on that surface. But my word, he produced a beautiful crossing from the right side on 69, listeners. Ivanovic free at the far post just to tap it in with a simple goal against the run of play. But we'll take it, I've written on my little iPad note-taking facility here. And so it was 2-1 up, and all bets are now off, aren't they? Because suddenly Millwall playing with confidence, where really it hadn't been a great day for us. We were second best in many areas of the pitch. Alex Neil, speaking after the game, described us as second best on many occasions. And, it just wasn't going for us. But somehow we were 2-1 up at Hull City, the proverbial difficult place to go. They didn't like a bad side, Hull, given the limitations of their pitch and the surface. Before the Mr. Kipling cake had its cherry put on top of it in the 77th minute with a 3-1, a loose ball in midfield allowed Josh Coburn to run through and finish like a boss, like a top-level striker. I believe this boy to have all the ingredients, dear listeners, physicality and the cool head to finish what was not an easy chance. That made it 3-1, and, a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. I don't know about your shoulders or the shoulders of the 1,600 plus that travelled all the way up to Hull on a Saturday morning. Well done to everyone that made it up there. I had to watch it on TV. Couldn't make two away games in a week. Late shot for Femi going wide, and they also had a moment just before the 90th minute. It finished 3-1, a huge win. It is on, dear listeners. We await with trepidation and anticipation the game between Middlesbrough and Queen's Park Rangers later this Sunday afternoon. As it is, though, we're 1 point behind Borough. Ipswich dropped points yesterday. One game behind. We've got to go to Borough. We've got to go to Ipswich in these final 10 games. It's hard not to get overexcited, dear listeners, at the prospect of it all. I mean, still a lot of football to be played. Tough first half, but chance upon chance. Woodwork rattled twice. Lady Luck, though, she's a cruel mistress, Lady Luck. She smiles upon you some days, and other days she laughs in your face. There we are. We finished 3-1 victors, and we are well set now for what should be a grand finale of a final 10-game season. Listeners, thank you for tuning into this edition. After the short break, I am going to be talking to Fan Advisory Board member Terry Lindsay about yesterday's game and one or two other bits and pieces. Stay tuned.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
First up on today's show is a huge welcome to a new voice for Achtung Millwall. We try and expand our range of voices, dear listeners, and there's a new one here. It's Terry Lindsay of the Fan Advisory Group. Terry, how are you, mate?
Not too bad. You okay?
Yeah, very giddy at the moment. I'm just looking at the league table as you and I are talking this Sunday morning. Third position after that wonderful result, if not wonderful performance yesterday, mate. Did you get up to Hull yesterday?
I didn't get out there yesterday, but obviously I watched it.
Yeah.
But it was difficult at times, wasn't it, to watch?
It was.
We held on.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And I was surprised with the change that he made in the warm up. I thought Bannon would come in for Casper.
Yeah.
But obviously, he did what he did, and I suppose it worked. In
the end, yeah, it did, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Well, listen, we got the job. We got the job done. Not playing very well, and that shows. That shows a lot of strength for the squad.
Well, that's the magic formula for successful teams, isn't it? I mean, it's a cliche that you win when you're playing badly or playing poorly or whatever way you want to think of it, and that was very much the case yesterday. I mean, as you said, Casper De Norre. A groin strain I'm hearing apparently in the warm up. No news yet on how long that's going to be, affecting him. And
lost Leonard as well, didn't we?
We lost Leonard. Apparently, took a knock at Preston.
Right.
And from what I gather, that's a matter of days rather than weeks. Whether he'll be around for Tuesday or whether that's the days or whether it's next Saturday for Blackburn, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But Doughty, and we'll come back to the game. And Doughty injured himself. That doesn't look very good. I think.
No, he limped off, didn't he?
Yeah, so we may have to do without Doughty for probably the remainder of the season now, I guess, because we're
agreed.
into early March and the rest of it. So yeah, no Casper, and you're right with Alex Neil. I mean, his team selection yesterday pulled Negley back into a kind of a deeper role. And,
he done well.
and he did do well. And that was interesting because I would have thought Barry Bannon. I've got a first question here for you, Terry. I mean, the Barry Bannon question really doesn't seem to. Alex don't seem to fancy him much, does he? He doesn't seem to play him very much. It's an interesting signing, and that's an interesting call at the moment because he's an experienced player.
Makes you wonder whether it was his choice or not. Obviously there's recruitment teams that I know that we know about. So maybe he doesn't fancy him as much, or I don't know. It seems strange because in my eyes, like, I think he's still one of the best midfielders in the Championship.
Yeah.
And I think he showed in certain moments, like even when he come on in midweek last week against Birmingham. I know the game was already won, but he still looked sharp.
Yeah. With an immense amount of skill,
That's right. It just shows little bits of quality that I don't think other players have got.
No.
But and if we look back at yesterday, I thought the young lad that we've got on loan from, is it Brighton?
Tommy Watson.
Tommy Watson. Thought he struggled.
He did struggle.
I think he struggled. I think he struggled since he's been here, really. He looks a bit lightweight. He give the ball away a lot.
Yeah.
So, he got hooked at half times anyway. So, everyone must have seen the same.
Yeah.
But, I was surprised to see him get in instead of Bannon, especially with the type of player Casper is as well. I think it was a straight swap, whereas he went for a totally different kind of player instead of Casper, which must have been a bit of a kick in the teeth if you're Barry Bannon.
Well, I would think so. I mean, he's been around the track enough times to know, and he's earning good money. So, if that means he sits on the bench, I suppose he's got to sit and accept it because that's football. But it is a strange choice. I don't fully get it unless there's more to it than is meeting the eye. I mean, I don't know. But but then Alex Neil will point at the end result, the full-time result, for any criticism, won't he? So
you can't criticise. I mean, especially as well when he made that change where he brought another striker on.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of managers would have just brought another midfielder on.
Well, that was the obvious call, wasn't it? Just to reinforce. But
he went for it.
I suppose the first thing to say, we've got injuries. We've got Casper out. We've got Ryan Leonard out. So Danny Mack's into the team. And first thing to say, I suppose, is the pitch. The pitch looked old school. It looked like as rough a pitch as I've seen since the 1980s there, Terry.
Well, I thought Preston's wasn't great last week.
That was ropey, yeah.
And then, this pitch was even worse. Obviously, they play rugby on it, which don't help.
They do, no.
But, you look at our pitch compared to the last two teams we've played away from home.
Yeah.
And, our pitch is amazing compared to theirs.
It's like a snooker table out there. It's dead smooth,
and it makes you... that's another thing as well, is that it's difficult to play football in those... in those conditions, but we still got the ball down in certain parts of the game, and played relatively well in patches. I don't know whether it suits us or it doesn't suit us, but they used to play on a nice pitch at home, so I would say that it is more difficult when the pitch is like that for them.
Must be. I mean, there's 2 rough pitches in a week. I don't know if they play rugby at Preston, but certainly
I don't think they do.
They've got no excuse. At least Hull City have got, because you can still see the rugby markings there. It looks so scruffy, Terry. I know Bristol City had the same thing when we went down there. You can still see the outlines of the rugby union there.
Crazy.
The rugby league at Hull. It just looks like you're playing at a leisure centre or something.
I know you think that I know they're obviously getting income from it, but you'd think that they would they wouldn't be that best pleased with, especially the football side of the team. Wouldn't be best pleased of, oh, here we go. There's a game here last week with a load of 20-stone geezers running around.
I had to laugh. I had the luck to be on the Den pitch against Portsmouth before the game, and that is like a snooker table, like I say.
Yeah.
And we had some photos done out there, and then what the kind of the steward there said, "Well, we've got to get off the pitch now because we'll damage the pitch." I thought, Jesus, this is. It's like the best snooker table you've ever go, billiards table or something, and then we go to places like Preston and Hull.
Oh,
anyway, there we are. That's the level we're at. I mean, it's got to be said, pitch to one side, which didn't help us, but I don't think our defending and our midfield were really in the game in the first half. So I mean, we were on the ropes, mate. I feared the worst at half time. It finished one each at the break, but bloody hell, that was a close run thing.
They had a chance just before half time where he hit it straight at the goalkeeper. But I was thinking, if we can get in at 1-1, we've done well here. And I honestly believed if they would have scored a second in the first half, I think it would have been difficult for us.
Very.
They rode their luck. You think they hit the bar, they had a goal disallowed.
Yeah.
They missed a lot. I think they had over 20 attempts. I think.
Well, they had a stat. I don't know if it was Sky you were watching or the stream, but they had a stat that had about 17 shots on target for Hull City. I mean, it was incredible. Lady Luck smiled on us, I think is the way I'd put it yesterday. It's about the best.
That's what's strange about this season is that we've had a few times this year where we've had different things happen where other seasons we would have got beat.
Yeah.
But this season it just feels like we seem to be getting a rub of the green a lot with certain. Don't get me wrong, we've had games where we're absolutely ruining teams like we did against Birmingham last week.
Yeah.
Unbeatable. But there is times where you can't play well every week, but we seem to have this little bit of lady luck on our side.
Yeah.
Which is getting us through, and you can see the momentum that it's building within the whole squad because even the subs are celebrating a win, and
there's a unity to it all. I mean, it's also interesting to see when Jake got the opening goal, which was from a set piece. They kept going on about set pieces on the commentary. Like we never scored a goal from open play. But
I know.
I think my wife said to me, "Why do they keep talking badly about Millwall?" They had some northern. Professional northerner sidekick commentator, and he has a moaning quality to his voice.
Yeah,
I said, well, it's just because they've got like a set idea as to who we are.
That's right.
Long ball, hit it to Steve Morrison or to Paul Moody or whoever, and all charge after it. And that's not the case, is it? I think the football we've played this season, Terry, has been excellent.
I think for the last 2 seasons, the way we're starting to get the ball down is.
Pass and moving, it's brilliant.
Yeah, and we've still got that advantage where if we need to put a ball in the box, we can. And it's getting that balance right, isn't it? You got play. I mean, if you look at Aziz, I just think he's been unplayable at certain times this year.
In moments, in crucial moments, I think that's probably what I'd say about Femi.
Correct,
because it wasn't his day. It wasn't Watson's day yesterday. Really, it wasn't Femi's day overall because of various reasons.
Aziz would say, Aziz would probably say that he wasn't the greatest yesterday, but what he did do was at vital moments he made chances and he assisted, and that's what good players do.
100%.
They're always thinking all the time. I can affect this game. Even if you're not playing very well. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I didn't think he played bad. I thought he played well, but the levels he can get to now. So that's the problem, that you expect that all the time.
Absolutely. We'll come back to the second goal. An absolutely gorgeous, inch perfect cross, Premier League quality. But we'll come back to that because I want to just go back to the opening goal. We've just been praising our good football and everything, and that was a free kick into Tristan Kramer, who nods it back for Jake Cooper.
Good finish.
Great finish, and it could see what it meant to Jake to get that side-footed volley in. straight over to the fans. And this is the unity you've been talking about there, Terry, wonderful, wonderful finish. In off the crossbar, but it went in the net, and that was 1-0 against the run of play. But this is what we keep coming back to. We're doing it when we're up against it.
LinkedIn is pretty great at a lot of things, like helping you tap into the latest trends and insights in your field. We cannot stop your coworker from tapping her pencil. LinkedIn can help you find new jobs that align with your career goals. We cannot help you find the source of that weird smell in the office fridge. Ew. And while we can't stop your coworkers from bringing their hobbies into the office, LinkedIn can help you bring your career to the next level. LinkedIn is the network that works for you.
What I find crazy is that, like, Kramer, no one was marking him.
No.
He just peeled off. Literally, free header, bang, into the danger area. But like I said, I must say, the finish, a centre forward would have been proud of that finish.
We need a cool head. You got. There's work to do there. It was a good laid up for him, but he's still got work to do to put it in the net. So
that's right. Some partnership those two are creating is mental.
There was a great. It was Jay's 1885 show podcast. They reposted on X. I don't know if you saw it, but it was like an open letter that Jake signed.
Yeah, I see that this morning. Yeah,
I'd forgotten it. Completely forgotten it. And it talks about his love for the club and how. Yeah. So I love the line, so-called bigger clubs have come looking for him, Yeah. And you can see it does mean a lot to him. And I think this is infectious. This runs right through the squad at the moment. I mean, these things go in cycles, but it's here right now. And I think it's the most wonderful thing to see that unity between the fans and the players. And
it's crazy. Like I've really enjoyed this season as well, but just this year just feels totally different though. I don't know why. Not that I expect us to win every week, but I just feel like the depth in the squad, and like look at our subs bench like nowadays.
The quality that's sitting on there. Yeah, even
we never had that.
We mentioned Barry Bannon. He's not getting a game for whatever reason, but it's still what a quality player to have sat on your bench. Warming up the seat.
If you look over the past seasons, we've never had those sort of players on our subs bench.
No, not that level. No.
Oh, you've had 11, and you've got a few academy boys. Our academy boys coming through now are still good players, But like, it's mental to see our subs bench nowadays, and we are now need to be taken seriously.
Absolutely. So there we are, 1-0 up. I had it in the 12th minute. I don't know if that's the official time. That's when I wrote it down. But bit of lax play followed, and pretty lax remainder of the half, in truth. But they were straight back in it, Terry. 1-1 just a few minutes later.
Good finish as well.
Good finish. And I just thought we gave them time and a bit of space, and it just didn't seem to be... I must admit, I rather feared for our sanity at that point, because they were peppering us. Shots blocked.
I thought they got a bit lucky with the goal in the fact that it seemed to sort of bounce off a few players and sort of, and it sort of fell. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's, got in a good position and he finished well, but it sort of bounced off a couple of players and it sort of fell nicely for him. So I did think I was fairly fortunate with that goal, to be fair, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. I suppose if there's a kind of a dealing out of luck, we probably got the lion's share of the luck.
There you go. Yeah.
Really. I mean,
that's me being greedy,
we were under the cosh, listeners, let's put it that way. And then they had the disallowed goal, which I always thought was a fair decision, because Patterson was balked as he came for the ball. But a lot of moaning Hull City fans online saying that was, and I suppose the only thing I would say is that I've seen them given, as another cliche. You do see them given, but I thought it was a fair decision. I thought it was a good decision, actually. In
real time, I wasn't sure what it was given. I wasn't sure what it was given for. But then, obviously, when I see the replay, then I sort of understood it. But like, I think if it was at our ground, or it was us, I think we would have felt aggrieved as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's football.
Yeah.
And they carried on peppering us, shots upon shots. They've hit the crossbar twice in that.
Yeah.
Lady Luck, largely speaking, came down on the Millwall side of things. And as you say, a late chance on 45 plus 2.
Yeah, that chance I felt I remember that chance. And I remember sitting there thinking, if they score this, we're going to be in trouble here.
We are, yeah. We were up against it.
And it didn't go in, and I think that was a really good thing for us, because there's been games, there's been games this year where teams have scored late and it's affected us in the second half.
Well, it's a knock to the confidence. Certainly to go in at half time, one each, we could make changes. As you've said already, Tommy Watson was pulled off for Cundall, who I thought played pretty well. And in came Doughty for Sturge, which surprised me. I probably wouldn't have looked for...
Sturge seems to get pulled like quite a lot, doesn't he?
I suppose maybe it just wasn't the day. It's a grim lunchtime in Hull, isn't it? And maybe it wasn't Zach Sturge's cup of tea, you know. But you're right. There's a lot of potential in the boy, and I really like him. He's got pace and power, but he does seem to just have off days sometimes.
I thought he was fantastic against Birmingham.
Yeah. I thought when we made the changes, I mean, initially at least, I thought it was business as usual in the start of the they had a ball that flashed across the goal, and I thought, oh my God. And then Doughty got injured, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then the very intriguing decision to substitute Mihailo for Alfie Doughty. I've seen that described. Well, I think Alex Neil says he made a ballsy decision. You don't want to keep making ballsy decisions, Terry, because it implies that we're chasing or throwing the dice rather when we want to be in control. But that was a ballsy decision, wasn't it?
He said something in his interview after, and he said that he feels with this squad that he can make ballsy decisions because he trusts them so much.
Yeah.
He knows that they listen to instructions.
Yeah, and we'll go and do it. Yeah.
So, you know, he basically said that he can do that and he's comfortable with doing it. And which is testament to the players, really.
Agree.
You know, because it was a ballsy decision and it paid off. But there has been decisions. He has made ballsy decisions other games, and he's made mistakes. You know, but that's football, isn't it?
Yeah, and you've got to be prepared to take the heat online, because there's always 1,001 judges out there to pull apart every ballsy decision that you've taken.
Correct.
When it works, you're the bravest man at the casino, aren't you? You know, there we are.
I do think Mihailo is better in a 2. So when we did go to a 2, we looked dangerous when we was on the break.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think also that it might have been the club interview where Alex Neil said that we were under the cosh, and he didn't have much in the way of options with Doughty going out on the bench.
Yeah.
So he took the view you might as well roll the dice and try and win it rather than carry on absorbing it and taking it, and then possibly finish up losing it. So there we are. That's what you get paid the money for at that level. So you know that's fair play to him, and it paid off handsomely in the 69th minute with the man we mentioned already, and that perfect, beautiful cross on the right side. I mean, that was like, you know, an inch just beyond the fingertips of the goalkeeper. Maybe we'll feel he should have done better, but Ivanovic was left just to tap it in very simply at the far
The way he beats his fullback, and he makes it look so easy, but it's actually so difficult.
Yes.
And his delivery is got so much better. Like, you know, they've obviously been working on that.
Yeah.
Because his delivery has been outstanding.
Yeah.
And you know, to any ball across that 6-yard box is a nightmare for defenders and goalkeepers, because if it hits a defender, it can go in.
It goes in the net.
Yeah, it's happened a few times. Just putting it in the right area, every time. And Ivanovic, I don't even think he sort of hit him. It's sort of.
I think he just needed to stand there, basically. Even I could have got that one in. That is saying something. So, have you ever seen me play?
Yeah. I think he was even like, oh, I've scored. Like, it was that good of a cross. It was such a good pinpoint cross that Mahalo just didn't even have to move.
No, he just stood there basically, and then that was it. 2-1, and I must say, I think I frightened the cats out the window when I shouted when that went in because
I was shame.
it was against the run of play still, although we were looking a bit better. But yeah, the cats were skedaddled out into the garden, didn't come back in for about an hour. But there we are, and then a few minutes later, it was actually 6-7 minutes later. Loose play by Hull City allowed Josh Coburn to run through, and didn't he finish that well with aplomb? I'm going to use the word with aplomb.
What a finish!
What a finish!
I mean, a lot of people have, Coburn. Oh, when he's got time, he's not great. He's better, when he's not.
Yeah.
When he just gets a chance, he has to, hit the ball straight away. But he had loads of time to think about that.
Yep.
He still had a lot to do.
Yeah.
And that was similar. I mean, the finish was similar to the Watford goal.
Yeah.
But that boy can finish.
He can.
And since he's come back from injury, what I've liked about him is that he's really, really getting himself about, and he's really he's making the centre half's life a nightmare. He's pushing them. He's getting his back into them. What Mahalo should do more, in my opinion, it needs to be nastier.
Yeah.
Really causing problems, trying to win free kicks, just being a nuisance.
Yeah.
I'd say that boy can finish. And if you keep him fit, he could really, really be, good for us.
Well, absolutely. I mean, calling him the lamppost, I think that does a disservice to him, to be honest, because that was the nickname lamppost implies he's just there to stand there and be tall and to get flick-ons, which he can do. But that was a run and a cool-headed finish from a difficult chance, Terry. I mean, that was a quality finish, and we've seen him do it before. And I think we've got to take our hat off to Josh Coburn because that sealed the deal. 3-1. They weren't going to come back from that.
And a lot of people have not been convinced by him either, have they?
No. Well, he's had a difficult time of it. I think coming down from up north, when you see him interviewed, and if you ever get them, he's always surprised when you put a football shirt on, you become a man. When you take your football shirt off, you're kids. It's like he's a nice boy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not in your face kind of out there character.
No.
And I think to come to a place like Millwall's not easy, is it, Terry? We know the situation at Millwall. If just to come in and establish yourself is not an easy thing.
I think he's still only 22, 23, something like that.
He's young. He looks young.
And I think he's got 4 or 5 goals now. And he's been injured a lot of the season.
Yes, he has.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we keep him fit, he gets over 10. And I hope he does.
I hope so. It's one of the stories of the season, and building to a crescendo. That was 3-1, and they had a late chance. I think we had a late chance on 90+6 to make it.
Yeah,
4,
we did.
It wasn't taken, but there we are. We'll settle for 3-1. 3-1 at promotion rivals.
It was amazing
to sit us in third place on a day where Ipswich dropped points. So as it stands, Terry, we are 1 point behind Middlesbrough. Play
today,
this afternoon against Queen's Park. I think it's at Queen's Park Rangers. So we've got to follow that one with some interest. But certainly, playoff football is now going into yesterday's game. I think we're 90% chances on one of the odds making sites. That's got to be increased even further. And the top 2 very much in our sights if we can keep on the pressure.
Still got to go to Ipswich and Middlesbrough, haven't we?
Got to go to Borough, got to go to Ipswich. So there's some big games there.
We've got 2 home games coming up now.
Yeah, 2 huge games at home. We need maximum points, don't we? We need to beat Derby. We need to beat Blackburn. There's going to be no excuse if we can't get maximum points.
That's right.
This week. So 2 huge games. Get yourself down there, listeners. Tuesday night. Always the less attractive fixture midweek, but that's what we need.
Well, the crowd was a little bit better against Birmingham last week.
Yeah, I think people are starting to believe a little bit. I think
that's right.
It's coming together now, isn't it?
Midweek attendance is a bit of an issue for us.
Yeah,
so it was nice to see a lot more bums on seats against Birmingham, and I hope that we can continue that because Saturdays don't seem to be an issue for us at the moment.
Absolutely not. No. I mean, incidentally, listeners, if we ever do get into the Premier League, I think we've got to get used to these odd kick-off times. That's,
Yeah.
get ready for all sorts of weird and wonderful starts
Sunday
and
at
places.
5:00.
So anyway, that will save that pleasure up for another day. And we're just talking about midweek attendance. I just want to touch before I let you go, Terry, about your work with the fan advisory board.
Yeah.
Well done, number one,
Thank
to everyone that stepped up to get involved in that.
you.
There's a lot of, I know from my own experience, a hard experience, that plenty of people will criticise what people do. Very
Yeah.
few will stand up and
Yeah.
be there. So I want to take my hat off to yourself and to
I appreciate
everyone
that.
involved in it. I think probably just worth. I mean, obviously, it's always a bit scattered. I mean, we've got the Lions Trust doing one thing, got the MSC doing their thing, and now the fan advisory board, which is set up under the new football legislation, isn't it? It's a requirement of clubs.
All the clubs have got to have it. Yeah,
to have these liaison groupings. I mean, just to put it into simple terms, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the Mill Supporters Club, the MSC, will pick up any day-by-day kind of issues if your Angelo Peroni's not is flat, or I don't know, your pipe was cold. That's for them. The Lions Trust, which I know well, was set up as a lifeboat should we ever need it, in case the HMS Millwall sank and we needed to reform as a, rally round like the AFC kind of Wimbledon type idea, relaunch. And the fan advisory board has a kind of like includes both of those bodies, but also has a kind of a strategic element to it, doesn't it? You're looking at bigger things than just day by day stuff.
It's more, we're looking at long-term stability, strategic matters. We're looking at trying to help them increase, match day opportunities. More involved with, like you said, the Mill Supporters Club is probably more, day to day. Trying to deal with stuff urgently as such. Whereas I think FOB is more strategic. Although we are involved with that sort of stuff because we sit in meetings and stuff like that. I mean, for me, I didn't realise I was over the moon that I got offered the voluntary role. But a lot goes into it. We have meetings regularly. And some of the stuff that we go through and talk about is crazy that you don't even think about as a supporter as such. And the pressure that these guys are under in these clubs.
I had a quick look before we spoke today. I was looking last night actually on the club site. Anyone that's interested, there's minutes of meetings on the club website. There's a section. There's pictures of everyone, in the group. And some of the things you're talking about there. I mean, it's been raised about whether kick-off times midweek. We'd spoken about low attendances midweek games.
That's what we're. That's one of the things that we're trying to help with right now. Put things into place with how we can help with midweek fixtures. Stuff from if the FA fine us for some sort of chanting.
Does that ever happen?
I mean, it's difficult. I mean, it's difficult, affecting that as such. But lots of things like that. How we can bring more people to the club. From everything, it's quite exciting, really, because I'm involved in a very exciting time for the club.
Yeah, it's an up time, isn't it?
And like I said, although it's voluntary, we have these meetings, and they're not half an hour. They're 3 or 4 hours. And when you've been at work all day, and then you get there and stuff like that, and they're very, the guys that are at the top at Millwall, Mark and Max and stuff like that, they're very intelligent guys.
Yes.
And they're very smart, very forward thinking, but they're also down to earth. So hats off to them, because the pressure they're under, even right now when Millwall are doing very well, it's crazy because everyone's watching them. Everyone is watching them. And it's easy to criticise. But
it's dead easy to criticise. Easiest thing in the world, go on any of the message boards or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. And
they're doing a fantastic job.
I agree. I mean, there was a hoo-ha the other day with the EFL, there's a vote of member clubs to expand the playoff system.
Yeah.
I'll be honest and upfront, I'm not sure I like it as a fan, but it's a business decision, really.
You can see why all the clubs have voted for it.
Yeah, well, everyone will do.
It's the Premier League.
It's an income booster. Now, with the rights and wrongs of it from the football point of view is one thing, but as I was once told in a long time ago, you can't put some things in the bank. You can't put goodwill in the bank. You can't. It comes down to money, and these are businesses. So, that wouldn't have been something that the fan board would have any vote on or say on, Terry. But people were still digging out on.
I mean, the clubs had to vote, and from what I've read, basically, apart from a couple of clubs, everyone voted for it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't think they had to, speak to their FABs about that, because
I wouldn't have thought it would fall within. It's a business decision, and you're not really gonna.
No,
it's the fan advisory board has a certain role in it, but it doesn't come down to that kind of level of football or business decision.
No,
the way I'd read it, but anyway,
it's a business decision.
People have their own views, let's put it that way. And but I just want to say and repeat that this is not easy what you're doing, and anyone that puts their head above the parapet, I take my hat off to, because plenty don't. And
there's if anyone doesn't know, there's a fans forum next week on the 12th,
right? At the club. Yeah.
Which if you're interested and you want to get down and meet everyone and talk to us and ask us any questions, or ask the guys any questions, because Max will be there and Mark, I expect. So get yourself down there, because that'll be a good evening.
Yeah, I mean, and I just want to second what you said about Mark and Max. You can talk to them and they'll give you a straight answer, even if it's the word no. They will explain why it's the word no. You can't do this or you can do that. It's no one's on their high horse. So for that reason, I'd recommend people get along if there's anything you want to raise. I also like the fact that the all the groups, the MSC, Lions Trust, and also the fan umbrella, if you want to call it that, are inviting people to come in with ideas. There's email addresses on the club website. So you can email. People can talk to you. No. Well done for doing that, mate.
Thanks, appreciate it.
The other thing that struck me, which I think I've mentioned before, but if it's a big if, we do get into the Premier League, we've got to expand our media gantry for the TV, and that's going to take out some of the seats in I always call it West Up, it's the Barry Kitch stand.
Yes, that will be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to have an impact on us, I think, Terry.
They've raised it, and it's something that we're talking about. So I mean, from what I believe as well, I think the club get a decent grant as well to do it. From what I believe, I think I'm not 100% certain, but it's going to cause a few issues. But I'm sure they've got some ideas on how
that's going to work.
Make it work. But I suppose the most difficult thing is for the supporters that have been in those seats for a number of years.
Yeah, might get moved along, mightn't they?
Even my season ticket, I wouldn't want to move where I am, but
no.
But I suppose we've got to get promoted first.
10 games to go now. It's an incredible position to be in, third in the table. 10 games to go, and the top two are not out of the question. Or certainly the second position not out of the question. I'm
still sort of, although I'm really excited and I believe that we can do it, I'm still in a bit of shock that we are in this position. It doesn't feel real.
That's the Millwall fan in you coming out, mate. How many years have you been following the Lions for, Terry?
Well, since I've been, I'm 39 now, so my dad's been taking me since I've been a 2-year-old.
There you go. That's what 37 years of bitter experience going into this disbelief of the situation. It's the best position we've been in.
It's the hope that kills you.
It's the hope that kills you. Since the days of Mark McGee. Cheer up, Mark McGee. Back in the early 2000s. So
even so most recently the Blackburn game, which
I
remember I was in hospitality that day and I was with me and Mrs. and I walked in at half time, and everyone was basically celebrating.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was looking around, going, "It's half time. Like
Yeah.
this is Millwall.
Yeah.
This is Millwall.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. It's Millwall," and it did.
And it did. So we got to keep our feet on the ground. I think certainly, playoff football will be a huge disappointment if we don't achieve that. But let's keep our feet on the ground for the tops.
Correct.
But I can't help it. I keep looking at Middlesbrough in second position as I'm talking to you.
I'm the same. I always look up. I mean, even if it was 12th in the league right now, I'd still think
you can still do it.
I still think we can get in the playoffs. So
next season we might be able to if we're still in the championship, because we're going to go down to 8th.
do you know what I mean? But there is a bit of a gap developing, isn't there, from 6th, 7th?
Yeah, there's clear blue water now between Wrexham, who played in the cup last night against Chelsea. No game for them.
Derby's going to be a tough game Tuesday because they are 7th now.
We're 7th, and they'll be wanting to claw their way into that 6th position. So if they can get a win, they'll be close to it. Oh, they will be. And the same with Blackburn, who want to get away from relegation. How many times have we fallen short? I mean, Blackburn have got a smallish gap now to West Brom. They'll want 3 points to get away from that zone entirely.
Think we've got to go to West Brom and Leicester as well, and those two obviously struggling.
Well, they'll be scratching for everything, won't
they? These are difficult games. And this is the bad thing about the Championship. Anyone could beat anyone.
A lot of football to be played. Terry, it's been great talking to you, mate. I really appreciate you coming on, mate.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Stay tuned, dear listeners. We're back after these messages with the voicemail. Stay tuned.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, Nick. Hope you're well. It's Martin Cowell here, ringing the day after the 3-1 win away at Hull. Didn't go. Watched it on Sky. Well, I think that's what you go. I came with two halves, isn't it? I think that the first half was a nightmare, really. I thought the setup was all wrong, really. I think that, the pitch, they play rugby league on it, and you can see it's not a good surface, and I don't know what Tommy Watson was going to do, really, on that pitch. And, with Casper De Norre getting injured in the warm-up was bad. I would have thought Mazusaki would have come in because we needed a tackler, really, or Ballo, but I think the midfield was open, and I think, therefore, Billy Mitchell just panicked, really. I think he was panicking, and not just the first goal, but I thought he was panicking all half. And that made the defence unsure, and really we could have been 3 goals down at half-time. I've said this before, I don't know why some managers wait till half-time to change it. I think you could see it was going wrong after about 20, 25 minutes. Okay, we looked okay going forward and we scored the goal, but defensively we were a mess. And I think we could have changed it after half an hour, really. But anyway, it changed and got better. Wasn't a pitch for Barry Bannon, I don't think. The ball wasn't moving that well, I didn't think. And we did better. We started to get more control of it. Although they were kind of running the game, we were happy for that because we were kind of soaking it up and trying to play on the break. And that's what brought us our success, obviously, in the second half. But yeah, I mean, I thought that the goalkeeper had a really, really good game second half. I know he was shaky from the goal that was disallowed, and I don't think he had much chance against Geldard, because Geldard's a good player at this level. But yeah, I mean, I thought he was really good, and if I had to give him someone man of the match, I would give it to him. Although I thought Kemal Nagli did really well, because he kept shifting around positions, didn't he, on the left. And he seems to have got it now, doesn't he? He seems to have got the work ethic and what he needs to do, and he can't just do the fancy stuff in a number 10 position. But yeah, 2 really good goals. One well made by Femi Aziz. Okay, the goalie made a mistake, and Coburn, they had to push out, didn't they, after that hole, and Coburn took his goal very well. I'll give a bit of praise to Danny Mack, because although I don't think he's good enough as a footballer to play in the top 6 team, I thought he defended very well. I know that some people said on social media that he was shaky, but I didn't think he was, because I think Danny Mack was doing Danny Mack things, really. And he's not the greatest footballer in the world, but he did enough in a difficult situation. And now we've got the injuries starting to queue up on us again. We're going to need him, aren't we, probably, because Ryan Leonard has gone off again by the look of it. Caleb Taylor's struggling. Don't know about Casper. And we've got 2 games in the week. And Tuesday's game comes quick. And it's a hard game at home to Derby. I mean, they are playing reasonably well now. And they're kind of just, they're looking for the playoffs. So they're going to come at it. And that's going to be a really tough game. Good that some of the players came back. But, I think they're going to be playing because I don't see, certain injuries. And Alfie Doughty looked crocked, didn't he? So I think we're going to struggle to get a team, a balanced team out over these next 2 games. It's going to be really hard this week. We really need to get behind the team. But yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do, don't you? If you want to be up there and you want to challenge. So we did the job. We rode our luck and we did the job. And as I say, I think the goalkeeper looks now to be the best goalkeeper we've got for sure. And if we can avoid not many injuries, I'm happy to take 4 points this week and then move on. But as I say, we need to get behind the team on Tuesday and next Saturday because we need to get those points to keep us up there because, there are going to be teams finishing. So let's go. Come on, you Lions.
Hello, Nick. It's Barnsley here. It's just finished. Hole 1, Millwall 3. Wow. Didn't see that coming after the first half, did it? I thought we were awful. Really struggled in the first half to come to terms with anything defensively. The turnover, we were just all over the shop. But let's go back a bit. Cooper's finish. What a striker. Yeah, absolute volley and a half, that, wasn't it? Bang that in. I thought if we could just settle down and then they score straight away. Unlucky Billy tried to nick it, didn't he? Off the fella, and it sort of hit his knee and then went into the path of the guy and he slided it past. But then, we were just all over the shop, weren't we? First half, they should have, the foul. I thought it was a foul on a keeper, but I would say that when Patterson got impeded a little bit. But we were very lucky to go in at 1-1, I thought. And I really thought it'd been Bannon on and take Watson off because I thought Watson he's a bit too lightweight, isn't he, for this league at the moment? So he's going to have to learn to toughen up. I thought Sturge was very unlucky to be taken off because I don't think he had much support from Watson. But there you go. He comes off, make the subs at half-time. We look a little bit better. Then obviously the injury now to Doughty is going to be a big issue because it looks like that's a horrible one. So we haven't got left back. But, the man, Negley, goes in there and does a decent job. And I think there's a special mention for Danny Mack as well. He come in for Leonard. We're not sure what's happened with Leonard. Obviously, Casper got injured before the game. So, the injuries are piling up a little bit, but we've got a big squad. Then the second half, and then we score. What a cracking finish by Ivanovic. Didn't know anything about it, did he? Bless him. But who cares? And that really took the stuffing out of him. And then obviously the mistake for Coburn's goal, but what a finish. He's got a lot to do, hasn't he? 2 fellas on him. And he just goes across the keeper, and the keeper's not getting anywhere near that. Special mention for Patterson. I thought his handling was brilliant today. Crosses were coming in, and he was telling defenders to get out of the way, and he was basically, saving him, plucking everything out of the sky. Cooper was good. Was worried about when he went on his shoulder, but another mounting performance by him. I thought Ivanovic and the Coburn looked like they were loving it up top with each other. You could tell they were just, But going back a little bit again, I think the substitutions, when Doughty got injured, I think Alex Neil thought, shit or bust, let's go for it, put a forward on it. It was a bit like, whoa. But what else did we really have? Cundall done well. Langstaff ran himself into the ground. Everyone done a job today, and I thought Billy was good. But I think my man of the match was Crammer. He just headed everything away, like under a lot of pressure, because that McBurney's an horrible player, and I'd love him to play with us. But he was handled so well in the second half, and I thought he was excellent. And everything that come in that box, we're going to call him the sponge, because he just soaked it all up and headed it away, didn't he? What a result. We go again in a week. We're going to have to patch up a lot of players, but we've got a big squad. We just got to get behind these boys, because that is one hell of a result, and that's going to send shockwaves down in that league. We've got the points on the board now, and I'm so fucking happy. Well done, you boys. Have a nice weekend, mate. Enjoy yourself, because we are going to have a beer tonight.
Huge thank you to Martin Colwell and to Barnsey there for the two voicemails we're fitting into this edition. There will be another edition, dear listeners, of the remainder of the voicemail. So if you weren't included in this one, stay tuned for the next edition, which will follow shortly later on this evening. I'm going to say a big thank you to everyone for their contribution to the show. Also, just a little snippet on the injuries. My spies, my Stasi informants tell me that Caleb Taylor is being rested at the moment. He's the way I understand is that Alex Neil doesn't see returning him to the side when we're doing so well as being worth the risk. He'll be kept in probably some kind of cotton wool kind of ice pack somewhere. But he could probably play now, but at the moment there is no need seen to risk him. That's my word on the street, Cuggy Bear style. Alfie Doughty, no word on that. It didn't look great when he left, and that was Alex Neil's words, I believe, that it didn't look too great. Ryan Leonard is a matter of days rather than weeks away. Whether we'll see him Tuesday night or not, time will tell. And no news for Casper De Norre as yet, dear listeners, so... there we go, injuries, the blight of injuries return to haunt the Lions. 10 games to go. Massive game later this afternoon between QPR and Middlesbrough. Let's keep our collective fingers crossed, and we'll be back with the voicemail edition later, and I will certainly be back with you after the midweek game at home to Derby. Thank you for listening, dear listeners. Arrivederci Millwall. Bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Achtung Millwall. All profits from our show benefit the fabulous Lions Food Hub, helping families in the Essex 16 area. Until the next show then, it's Arrivederci Millwall. Bye for now.
Who do you want to watch?